Alright guys, I wanted to do a little bit of a longer video talking about project management with ranked quests. And so we can start a new quest. And so what we can do is, I'm just going to run through some basics of a quest. What we can do with a quest is we can thread, we can create these messages, and by default these messages are just in chronological order as though you were having a conversation, so you can use this quest to represent a conversation. I can invite, let's invite Metabot. And now Metabot can participate in this conversation, or I can publish to a public feed and have other people participate in this conversation. But another thing that I can do is I can change the order of this quest. So for example, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna upvote these 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 1. And now I'm gonna change the sort order. Oops, this is the filter, sorry. This is what we want. So I'm going to change it to sort by vote. And what that will do is that will actually put the highest ranked item at the top. This is why these are called ranked quests. And this is nice for prioritizing to-do items. So pretend like this was a to-do, this was a to-do. I can, after I finish this item, I look up what's my highest priority item. It's this item right here, and I can go ahead and archive it, and that means the item is completed. If I wanna, what's the next highest priority item? It's 3. I'm gonna archive this one, pretend like we did this item, this to-do item, and I can pull those back by filtering down to the archived items to see what I've done. So those are just some ranked quest basics. Let's look at the default filter to see the default view. I can also do this instead of just with upvotes. Upvotes I can do multiple times. So upvotes are essentially a proxy for my time. So if there's a cost to having to keep upvoted. So for example, if I have this item right here, if I wanted to do a new item to do, and I wanted to elevate this item to the top spot, I would actually have to spend some time, spend some time upvoting this above to put it first in line as my highest priority to do. But I can also do the same thing with money. So so let's say I'm keeping this to-do list, and I want to actually prioritize this even newer item. Instead of just using regular upvotes, I can actually use money, and each upvote now, I converted this to a crypto vote by clicking on the number. Now you can see it's 0 cents. And now I actually use small amounts of crypto to upvote this item. And once this comes back, you can see now it turned green. Now that it came back as a confirmed 1 cent payment, this now becomes the highest priority item in my to-do list. So money, the crypto votes are ranked higher than any just regular upvoting, and this is called, I call this an up value. So these are up values because there's actual money value involved, up value, and this is an upvote. So regular upvotes are essentially a proxy for time, and up values are money, and money is ranked higher than time. And now to be able to prioritize another item, I have to spend more money, so I have to convert this to an up value, a crypto vote, and now I'm actually going to spend some money, and now I have to up value this 2 cents to get it to the highest priority, to make this the highest priority item. And so now this becomes a my highest priority to do. And if I want to keep putting items at the top of this list, I have to spend more and more money. And what this does is this actually assigns a cost. It introduces a cost for procrastinating on these items. So if the rule is that I'm taking items off of the top of this stack, then and admittedly it's a self-imposed rule, but if that's the rule and my attention automatically actually goes to the top of this stack, then to put items at the top of this stack of this quest, I have to spend money, and that produces a cost for procrastination, because if I keep just adding items without and moving them to the top of the heap, that will actually become more and more expensive the more I procrastinate and the more I don't finish these items. So as soon as I finish it, all of a sudden I only have to spend 2 cents instead of 3 to put an item at the top of the heap. And if I finish this one, now it only costs me 1 cent to put at the top of the heap. So this is kind of an overview of the upvote ranked quests basic, and how I do and how I use this to prioritize items and prioritize my attention. So now let me just talk about this same mechanic works pretty well with multiple people in this quest. So if Metabot was upvoting or upvaluing these items, he also has a say on what becomes a higher priority item. So you can do this in a multiplayer way, where multiple people are using either their time or their money to signal that some to-do item or some project task is needs to be a higher priority item. And the more people pool their money to upvalue some item, the more expensive it becomes for others to prioritize some other item. Now I'm just going to hop through an actual example of how I use this to actually build Navigator. So you can see that this is the Navigator projects quest, and this is where all of our development work gets described and prioritized. So the highest priority item is bugs. And because this is Navigator, each message actually expands out into a side quest. And so we put bugs in this message, and you can see I'm working with a gentleman named Valentin. This is his username, and so I just message him. I embed a task for him using the Navigator screen recording capability, and then we start. I would basically start a conversation. So here, after I assign this task, he comes back with, you can see this is a side quest, and there's a conversation about this task that starts. He responds with a GitHub link to a pull request that accepts this, that completes this task. I respond with some QA and another video. So there's a conversation happening around this bug. And so these are the highest priority items, but the next priority item is something I just released, which is the collapse quest messages button, which is this button right here that we just released. And it works the same exact way. Each message then branches out into a more detailed conversation about this project task. And I specify the details in a screen recording. He comes back with a pull request with the code that completes this item, and then I give him some QA work to do, showing him whatever bugs I found, and some more QA work. This was actually today, and so each QA item even can branch out into even more detail. So the branching conversation here is very flexible for describing these items in as much detail as possible. There we go. and so on. And so then as as the developer comes back to this quest, he just goes down the stack. Has he done all of the items here? Then if he hasn't, then he just pulls items from here. Then he finishes those, and he just moves down the stack to the next priority item. And you can see there's just a bunch of different project tasks. The lower it goes, the less detail there is. These are things I'm still describing. But at the top, it's very detailed because I know that he will be prioritizing, that my developer, or the developer I'm working with, will be pulling things from the top. So these are the most detailed tasks. And when these are done, I will just go ahead and hit archive to signal that these projects these tasks are completed. And we can see those by clicking on the filter and looking at all of the archived items, and you can see these are all of the things that these are all the finished items, and this goes back, like probably 6 months or something, a month, 2 months, 3 months, 3 months. So these are all of the different items which have been completed. By looking at just the archived items, I have a history of all of the projects that we've worked on. They all have conversations associated with them to describe them in various detail. And this is a very simple way. There's no other software really. All of the project management and tasks and completions are modeled as a conversation, and then when the conversation is no longer useful, we just archive it. And Valentin, the developer I'm working with, is actually he's remote. He's remote, and he's async, meaning he's in a different time zone completely. He's literally the exact opposite time zone from me, which makes these videos and the asynchronous nature of the conversation and navigator extremely useful for managing this asynchronous relationship, because when I go to bed, he starts working, and so we really have to specify exactly what needs to be done. And these videos and the ability to drill down on particular conversations and really ask for detail or drill down and provide more detail for each message is extremely useful.